On this episode, Ryan and Rodney talk a little college football, a lot of NFL football, and you get to hear one bold prediction Rodney makes near the end.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Everywhere you turn, it's the same old sports talk, the same headlines, the same news, and the same boring information. This podcast is here to change all of that. We bring you hot sports takes, winning sports betting strategy and picks, reliable gaming industry news, and breaking interviews with some of the biggest names in sports business. My name is Ryan Knuppel, and welcome to the Knup Sports Show. All right. Welcome to the Knup Sports Show. I'm your host, Ryan Knuppel. I'm here alongside of Rodney Knuppel. Rodney, you with me?
Yeah, what's going on? Looking forward to the National Football League. Looking forward to a big weekend.
Yes, for sure. Everybody out there listening, thank you so much for tuning in to the Knup Sports Show. We've been coming at you a lot more here lately. We've been doing a lot more episodes, interviewing a lot of people in the industry, talking a little football now that football's back, and just flat out just enjoying sports. I mean, it's the best time of year to enjoy sports, and with football coming up, man, it's on our minds. I cannot wait. Rodney, I think that first, before we get started here, we got a little announcement to make. You and I are traveling. We are heading to Las Vegas, Nevada for the G2E conference in October. You pretty pumped about that?
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm looking forward to getting out to, it's never bad to be going out to Vegas, of course. And the conference should be a lot of fun, meeting a lot of the big dogs in the industry, and just kind of hanging out and seeing what's going on out there in the industry and all. So yeah, looking forward to that coming up here in October. But it should be cool.
Yeah, that's October 14th through 16th, the G2E conference in Vegas. There's a sports betting spin to it. I know SBC's putting on a nice little party and kind of having I think there's a sports betting symposium along with it. So any of you listeners, if you're heading out to Vegas for G2E, please, I urge you to send us a message, send us an email, whatever. Shoot me up on LinkedIn, and let's definitely connect at that event. That's really what we're going out there for, is just to connect with you guys and just talk sports and really understand what you're doing in business these days, especially around this booming sports betting industry. So please look us up. We're going to be out there for 3-4 days, and we would love nothing more than to meet with you guys over lunch or a drink or dinner or something. So please do that. We will have a good time, and we would love to meet you. So that's that. Speaking of upcoming podcasts, I am meeting with Dustin Sullivan of sportsdata.io. That will be on the next episode, actually going to be released shortly after this one. So stay tuned for that one. We're going to talk fantasy data. We're going to talk sports betting data, kind of the business side of data. So definitely tune in for that. That will be a good one. I think that'll be episode 62 for you guys to listen to. So that should be fun. All right, Rodney, that's kind of the prep work. Let's jump into some football, man. So the first week, we nailed Florida, Miami. I mean, I think we were pretty much spot on the whole time, weren't we, in that Florida-Miami game back in week 0?
Yeah, not even that, but the late game with Hawaii, I think we nailed that one as well. Hawaii and I forgot who they played, but yeah, that was a good opening weekend. We didn't have the podcast obviously last weekend because it's kind of the holiday and some busy stuff going on, but did okay last weekend as well. But yeah, that opening weekend, week 0, was a nice weekend to start college football betting, and kind of thought maybe I'd go undefeated after that week. I thought maybe I'd win every game all year.
But, because that's how it always goes, right?
But then the first game at 11 o'clock on week 1 kind of ruined that. So, but it was a nice, fun weekend, and a lot of good college games. Some more good ones this weekend.
Yeah, now we jump in here to week 2 of college, and there's really 2 on the radar that I'm looking at, and really when you look at the top 25 matchups, there's a couple that are just monstrous. When you have Texas A&M at Clemson 11 versus 1, and then you got what else? You got LSU and Texas battling, and that should be a good one as well. How about that LSU Texas game, Rodney? Have you looked at that at all, and what are your kind of early thoughts on that game?
Yeah. I mean, the game's in Texas, 2 top 10 teams. And I think with the game in Texas, for me, I like the Longhorns. Tom Herman's team, I thought looked pretty good in week 1. Their score really didn't indicate how good they looked, but I thought they looked pretty good in week 1. And I've always kind of had this, I don't know, maybe this LSU team is a little bit different, but I feel like LSU is going to struggle to score enough to win this game. I know they scored 55 last week, but it was against Georgia Southern. I'm actually, if I'm giving my pick right away, going to take Texas to not only cover, but I'm going to take them to win this game. It's like a 5.5 point spread. I think they're going to win something like 28-24, somewhere around there. I got the Longhorns winning this game.
Yeah, I think it might have moved to 6.5. It's been floating around 6.5. Texas as an underdog in this one in Texas, like you said. I tend to agree with you here. I think that's too many points to give this Texas team. These two teams don't play every year. It's kind of a rarity for these two teams to be battling. They haven't played since 2003, so both teams are going to be hyped. And I think I'm with you. I think I'm going to take Texas plus the points. I'm not sure I'll go money line in this one. I may be a little shy, gun shy taking that one. But that's a 7:30 late game on Saturday on ABC. Should be a primetime matchup for these two. I'll go Texas with you. That should be fun.
Yeah, definitely
go
looking
ahead.
forward to that one. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. It is the primetime game, so I think that's the one all eyes are going to be on for sure.
Yeah, and then the afternoon on Saturday, we kind of went out of order here, but the afternoon on Saturday, Texas A&M and Clemson. I mean, that should be a really good game as well. I know Clemson is favored by heavily by 17 points, but Clemson's they're a beast this year, and they're at home in this game. Man, you think Texas A&M can even stay close in this one, or is this going to be a blowout?
Well, I mean, I think anytime you can give me that many points on a top 15 team, I think you got to take it. I don't know. Maybe I'm the sucker on this one, but I mean, an SEC school, and I know SEC, some of the middle to lower teams struggled a little bit last week, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to take those 17 points. I think a lot of things could happen where Texas A&M at least keeps this game close, and 17 points is almost 3 scores. So I am going to take Texas A&M in this one. As far as the total, I don't know as if I like it either way. I mean, these guys did meet last year, of course, in Texas A&M, and it was a 28-26 game. I mean, it's a pretty close game. 64.5 is the total. If I had to predict it, I would go under. But I'm going to take Texas A&M to cover this one.
Yeah, man, we are identical so far this year. That's crazy. I like Texas A&M as well. I think they cover. Last year was a close game. Clemson's, at home, they're obviously going to be ready for this game, ready to pound A&M. But I think A&M stays close and at least covers in this one. So we'll see, though. It should be a good one. Any other college games? I don't want to spend a ton of time on college because I think we want to make the full focus of this pretty much NFL Week 1, since that's our bread and butter. But any other college games that stand out to you, or something, anything you want to say about college before we move on?
Yeah, well, down in your backyard, UCF goes on the road to Lane Kiffin and Florida Atlantic. Now, Florida Atlantic's a 10-point underdog at home. I don't know. I think they're going to be pesky enough, and I'd like to see, the Knights, who are ranked 18th, play on the road. I think I'll take that 10.5 points. And then I just wanted to throw out that Alabama is a 54.5 point favorite.
54.5. That's your early season big time team against the low. How much are you going to pay me to come play here type game? Oh man, that's a big spread there. New Mexico State's terrible, so they may cover that.
Ask Tennessee what it's like to have a team, pay somebody $900,000 to come play. They actually lost at home last week to, Georgia State or whatever it was. Unbelievable. But Alabama's not going to lose. 54.5. No way I'm betting that. I mean, 54.5, all sorts of things could happen to cover 54.5. But I just want to know 54.5. Unbelievable.
Crazy. All right, let's tune our attention to the real show this week. We got NFL football. We got Thursday night. We'll hit home with you and your Midwest crew back in Illinois. We got Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears, baby. Lighten it up first day, Thursday night football. That is tomorrow night. We're recording this on Wednesday. This will come out on Thursday, so it'll be tonight by the time you guys listen to this. Man, Bears are favored by 3. Are you ready for this game or what?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's the 100th year anniversary for the Chicago Bears. It's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. It's two teams who think they're going to be good, supposed to be good, two teams that could win that division. Packers, new coach, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, got some weapons, hopefully for his sake. I do like this game a lot. I think it's going to be fun. And I'm telling you, I'm going Packers. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I'm going Packers. 3 or 3.5. I'm going Packers. I'm going Packers to win this game. I'm just not going to quite buy into the Bears hype quite yet. I know they were good last year. I understand that. It's week 1. I think Aaron Rodgers has a head coach, has an offensive coordinator that he likes right now. And I'll ask me in about 4 weeks if he actually still likes these guys or not. But Aaron Rodgers has an offensive coordinator, has a head coach. I think he's going to air it out more than we've seen before. Adams, obviously a big key for them. He's got some other receivers that I think are going to step up huge this year. I am taking the Packers, and it's the 3 or 3.5. If you can still find it at that 3.5, perfect. I think you can take it at 3 and be happy. I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears obviously beat them last year in Chicago. That was like the first time they'd beaten them at home in I don't know how many years. I mean, a decade probably. I don't know the actual number on how many years that was. But Green Bay traditionally has the Bears number, and it's always a good game. But they typically have their number. So you're going to give me a field goal with the Packers. I think I'm going to take Green Bay as well. I don't love it. I don't love the game by any means. But, it's Thursday night. It's the first NFL game. It's probably something you're going to have to place a little wager on. So if I was forced, which I will be, I'll probably take the Packers as well in this one. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, should have a big year with kind of a new offensive scheme in place. Devontae Adams is going to have a monster year. I'm really looking forward to watching him. On the Bears side, I think their running game is such a question that just really concerns me on the running side. I think Trubisky's obviously kind of proven he can do okay. But I just think that offense is really not proven. The defense is pretty dang good. But when you have Aaron Rodgers on the other side, I like them to be able to stay close in this one. And obviously both teams are going to be juiced up, amped up for the beginning of the season here. So I like this game to stay close. Give me the 3.5 points. If we can get it 3.5, that'd be great. I keep seeing 3 everywhere. I think I'm with you on that one. I'll take the Packers, but it's not one of my favorites of the week.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about the running game for the Bears, and a lot of people are excited about the running game with that David Montgomery. But I want to see what David Montgomery can do first. I mean, there are people talking about how he could be a top 5 to 8 running back in the league. I want to see it first. I just want to see it first before I'm really buying into the Bears. And a lot of talk that they're just kind of letting Tariq Cohen not really even do much, and I think that's a mistake because we saw at the end of the year last year. Tariq Cohen was a huge weapon. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Bears and how they open up that offense. Looking forward to seeing that game. Yeah, definitely going Packers on this side as well.
Definitely. Then we go into Sunday, and we're not going to go game by game. I know last year we went every game, and we talked about it. We will spare you guys the time this year, but we do want to talk about a few games. So let me just run down the games real quick. We got the Rams at Carolina. Carolina's 3-point underdogs at home in this one. We got Washington at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's 10-point favorites. Buffalo at the Jets. Jets are 3-point favorites. Minnesota hosting Atlanta. 3.5-point favorites there for Minnesota. Baltimore at Miami. Miami's almost a touchdown underdog at home. Kansas City, Jacksonville, with Jacksonville being 3-point dogs at home. And then Tennessee at Cleveland, with Cleveland being 5.5-point favorites. Those are the early games. Rodney, does anything stand out to you in the early game that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like Carolina, and I Cam Newton's playing. We're not sure how healthy. We never sure how healthy Cam Newton is. But if you're going to get the best out of Cam Newton, I think it would be week 1. And I just want to see what the Rams do after that Super Bowl loss, kind of where they're at. And Todd Gurley's still got some question marks. I mean, he's got arthritis in his knee to start the season. That's not a good thing for the Rams. So 3 points. I'm taking Carolina there, and again, I think Carolina can end up beating them in that game. And just kind of running real quickly, I think Jacksonville will give the Kansas City Chiefs a good game. Again, I want to see how Kansas City does, and I think the Eagles is a blowout Washington. You mentioned that game, 9.5. I think that's not enough. I'll give some of my best picks later, but I like Philadelphia a lot in that game at noon Central Time.
What do you think about Cleveland? Cleveland 5.5-point favorites over Tennessee. I mean, high hopes for Cleveland this year. There's been a lot of talk about them, going to the playoffs last year. Do you think they blow out Tennessee in this one?
I don't know what to think about Cleveland yet. That's a team I'm really just going to wait and see. I probably won't bet on them or against them at least week 1 because I know they've added players, but it's still Cleveland after all. I mean, they haven't been good in a long time. Baker Mayfield, second year. I always am a little bit curious how quarterbacks do in their second year once teams start figuring out how to defend them. I don't like that game a lot. I mean, I think Cleveland wins, but I'm not sure. At 5-6 points, I'm just not sure. So I don't believe I'll bet that game.
One game I like quite a bit, actually, is the Minnesota game where they're hosting Atlanta. I think Minnesota is going to take Atlanta to the woodshed. I think they're going to beat them by over a touchdown in this one. They're only 3.5-point favorites at home in this one, I believe. Am I correct on that? Yeah, they're at home. Man, I think Minnesota's offense is ready to click this year. Thielen, Diggs, a healthy running back situation. Cousins should have a little more chemistry with those guys this year. I just think that offense is kind of going to be ready to go this year. They did struggle a bit last year, and we always know the Minnesota defense is going to be pretty good. You have Atlanta, who really has struggled. I think they struggled last year. I didn't think they were living up to expectations of last year, and they're starting to get a little old. That core is starting to get a little older. I like Minnesota quite a bit in this one. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think at home, certainly 4 scares me because I could see Minnesota winning late and, it being 3 or whatever, whatever it's going to be. But, yeah, I mean, I'd like Minnesota to win that game. I would be a little bit nervous with the 4, but I think if I'm siding one way or the other, it's Minnesota. I mean, I think Dalvin Cook has a big year.
Yeah.
And then obviously in week 1 at home, with the weapons he has, they're going to air it out to Thielen or Diggs. And then once they don't, now they're going to give it to Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook has a big year. So, I mean, I would probably side Minnesota in that one. A little bit nervous because Atlanta still has guys that can score. I mean, they still could play a shootout with you. So I think that'll be a fun game to watch. But, yeah, I'd probably side Minnesota.
And I'm a little upset. I should have started this segment because you took both teams I was going to talk about. You took them both. How did that happen? I mean, I actually thought I had a couple gems there to talk about. I do like Carolina. I think them +3 at home is a steal here. And then I also like Jacksonville a little bit. Now, that one scares me a little more because we know Kansas City's powerful. We know they're powerful. But I think Jacksonville is going to bounce back a bit this year. At home is always a tough place to play there in Jacksonville. I don't know. I think that's a decent one. I don't know that I love Jacksonville, but I think I'm on that side with you in that game as well. So we will see. All right, let's move on to the afternoon games. We've got 5 games in the afternoon, the 4:05, 4:25 slot. Man, as I talk about this, it just pumps me up. I love these Sundays when there's, games all day. Man, it's just great. So we got Indianapolis at the Chargers. Chargers 6.5-point favorites. That line has moved quite a bit. We got San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 1-point favorites at home in that one. Giants at Dallas. Dallas 7-point favorites. Detroit at Arizona, with Arizona being a 2.5-point underdog at home. I'll let you take your shot. Which one do you want to talk about first here, Rod?
I think let's go ahead and talk. I think Seattle is the team I like the most there at almost 10 points, whatever it is, 9.5 or 10, wherever you see it at. I mean, I think Cincinnati's going to be one of the worst teams in the National Football League this year. I think Seattle is still sneaky good. I know people are, their core is aging, their defense isn't as good. I still think that defense is going to be pretty good. And Russell Wilson's a magician. So, Seattle's probably my favorite pick there. I always shy, when it's 9.5, 10 points, but I think you got to go there. Chargers, without Melvin Gordon, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, the Colts, they got a quarterback problem. Cowboys at 7, who knows what Zeke's going to do. He just signed this week. He's supposed to be on a snap count. And so I don't know if I like that one. But then San Francisco, Tampa Bay intrigues me because it's 50 points for the total. And I think if you're looking at like a daily fantasy, I think this is going to be a little bit of it's going to be one of the highest stacks. You're going to see a Jameis Winston, Godwin. You're going to see a Jimmy G, some of his weapons. I mean, I think you're going to see a decent stack out of this game. And over 50 could be in play here, San Francisco, Tampa Bay.
Wow, yeah, that's another thing to talk about. We got daily fantasy starting up. We have FanDuel. I know you host a fantasy show back in fantasy. I said that wrong. A fantasy football show back on ESPN in the Midwest. So you're pretty excited to start that as well and talk a little fantasy, I bet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so we've had the show for a couple weeks here to start this season, and it's been season long talk, and that's fine. But the DFS is where I really like, and that should be fun. And putting your lineups together. I mean, getting all those millionaire makers and whatever the lines are, it should be fun. But yeah, I think Tampa Bay, San Francisco, you're going to see a pretty large stack on.
Yeah, man. One of them. I mean, I know everybody seems to love the Chargers now with Luck out, in Indianapolis and. But I don't know. I mean, that line moved from 3 to 6.5. It just kind of scares me with everybody pounding the Chargers. I never like seeing such a big percentage of the nation loving one side. So that one I'm a little hesitant on. I do like Dallas. Zeke or no Zeke. I mean, Zeke's going to play a little bit. I think they're going to blow out the Giants. I don't like this Giants team at all this year. I just don't. I think they're going to struggle heavily on offense, even though they do have Barkley. I think Eli Manning's just way over. He's just done. Their wide receiver core is a mess. I don't think their lines are any good. I just really think Dallas is going to pound these guys at home this year. So I see this being a blowout. 7 does kind of suck. I wish that was 6.5, but I may lay the 7 in this one and take Dallas.
Yeah, I mean that's just a scary game because again 7 points. You just never quite sure. It's a rivalry game, divisional game. I'm surprised it's not the Sunday night game. These two teams always put on Sunday nights. Eli Manning, he lost his top weapon. So well, I shouldn't say top weapon, his top passing weapon. I mean, Saquon Barkley is his top weapon, but Odell Beckham Jr. was a pretty big part of that offense. So it's gonna be interesting to see how quickly the Giants say, "Hey, Eli, you're not playing anymore, and we're gonna go to our new guy." So yeah, I mean that game might be a fun one to watch, but I don't like the betting on that one real well. I mean, Zeke's gonna get like 2 practices, so I'm just not real sure how that's gonna go.
All right, let's move to Sunday Night Football. We got Pittsburgh Steelers at New England Patriots, 8:20 on Sunday night. Man, what a big game to start the Sunday Night Football action, Week 1. Patriots are 5.5-point favorites. Man, the betting action's about 50-50 on this game. That line seems just about right. Over-under's 49.5. Oh, man, are you leaning either side here early?
Patriots. I want to see the Steelers and how they can do without Bell and Brown. Is Juju that big of a stud to lead them? I mean, can Big Ben still play? Without his two dudes. Is Connor the real deal still? I'm taking the Patriots. I know early on maybe the time to get the Patriots, but I'll rest easy knowing that I'm betting the Patriots, who are one of the best teams to bet. I mean, the Patriots are really good. I'm taking the Patriots in this game.
Are these the 2 oldest quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
I mean,
Matt Ryan up there, or are these the 2? No, these are probably the 2, right?
I mean, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers are both.
I guess you have quite a few of them, but man, can't think of a more epic quarterback matchup to start when you got the 2 surefire Hall of Famers going at it to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Both won championships, 2 good head coaches, 2 teams that think they can win the AFC. I mean, this is a great game. I'm going with New England at home. I think New England wins this game. I could see a Pittsburgh struggle this year. I mean, I just think internally they're just not still there. I know 2 of the cancers are now gone, but now you got Big Ben with different weapons. I just don't like it. I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, I'll admit I haven't looked at this game very closely. I mean, I'm just more salivating over the thought of the game and watching it and paying attention to it. So I think when it comes Sunday evening, I'll probably take a look at this a little closer, but I'm not prepared to give a pick right now. So I don't know. I'm excited for the game in general, and that'll be a great game. I mean, both these teams have really high expectations every year, but again, this year, it'll be a fun one. I can't wait to watch it. So let's move on to Monday Night Football, 2 games. So double Monday Night Football this week, as they do every year on Week 1. We got Houston at New Orleans. New Orleans, a touchdown favorite at home. And then we got Denver at Oakland, which is a pick-em at the moment for the really late game on Monday night. I'll let you take one of these, and I'll take the other. Which one you like?
Houston. I will take Houston. I will take them +7, and I'll give a little backstory here. This could be the Super Bowl matchup.
Wow.
Deshaun Watson will be my MVP, and the Houston Texans win the AFC. So I'm taking Houston +7. I'll tell you, I took Green Bay in the NFC. Yes, I'm off the wall here. I'm taking Green Bay, but I'm taking Houston to win this to cover this game. I'm not sure if they'll win. So +7's a lot, but I'm taking Houston to cover this game. I'll probably go over too. I think Deshaun Watson can really get in the shootout here. This could be in the 30s. Over 53. Houston +7. If somehow you can get it at 7.5, easy money. I'm taking Houston.
Nice, man. That's some heavy expectations for Houston. I love the boldness on that call on Deshaun Watson. I love it. All right, I'll go to the other game. I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders. I'm going to take Oakland to win this game. It's a pick 'em, so basically flat out just win the dang game. All right, they're at home. High expectations on Oakland again this year. Now adding Brown into the mix. dramatic Brown. It seems like a drama all preseason. So who knows what they'll get out of him. But even without him, I like Oakland in this game. I think Denver traditionally, and maybe this is just in my mind, I don't really have stats to back it up, but it feels like Denver struggles at the beginning of the year each and every year. I just feel that way. I feel like they always kind of struggle to cover, struggle to win, and then they kind of turn it on and kind of always end up kind of there, pretty decent. But I feel like they struggle at the beginning of the year every time. I'm going to go with Oakland to win this game at home. It's just a pick 'em. The trends do disturb me a little bit. I'm always, you know me, I'm one of those guys that likes to be contrarian a little bit. Raiders have 62% of the action, yet this line is moving pretty heavily. It's moved towards Denver, even though everybody's betting on Oakland. So that does bug me a bit, but I don't think it's going to make me shy away from it. I think I'm going to take Oakland in this one, regardless of who's playing, who's not playing. I know Lindsey's now available for Denver. He should be healthy. Gosh, I think I'm taking Oakland in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just real quick, I'm going to take Oakland too. Well, backstory, I'll actually be in Denver Monday night to see the Broncos. Now, the game's in Oakland, but I'm curious to see how the city of Denver is reacting to a team that doesn't have a lot of high expectations. I mean, Denver's, maybe the third best team in that division, might be worst, depending on how the Raiders do. I'm just curious, kind of a off the betting topic here, curious how the city of Denver reacts to the Broncos playing on Monday night. Just kind of food for thought there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch it in their hometown and Monday Night Football, late, the last game. So everybody will be amped up in Denver, I'm sure.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, Denver's a great football town. I mean, the Broncos have been successful in the past. So I'm curious to see how that goes. It'll be a late game. It'll be a late one, but looking forward to the football Monday night. 2 games, it's always fun.
All right. So we went through all of them. Now, the one tradition I want to start for this year. So if we start a tradition, that means we got to do this. We got to do it each and every week. So I want to pick our top 3 games against the spread or total, whatever you want. But you pick 3 picks. We're going to track these all year, and we're going to have a little internal Knuppel battle by the end of this season. So we got I'll let you give me one, and then I'll go, and then you go, and we'll go back and forth here. And
yeah, my top one's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think currently I'll just take it at 9.5. I don't know if I'm cheating. It may have moved to 10. I found it at 9.5, so I'm going to take Eagles 9.5.
All right, I will take, and we can take the same one. It's okay. We can take the same one. I won't make us go there. I'm going to take Carolina +3. We talked about this game earlier. I really like them to cover against the Rams at home in this one and possibly win that game. So I'm going Carolina +3 is one of mine.
My second one, I will. This is kind of different for me. I'll take Seattle -9.5. Two games with a lot of points, 2 favorites, but I'm going to take both favorites, Eagles and Seahawks, both at -9.5. Seattle's my number 2.
All right, my second one is another one I talked about. I'm going to go Dallas. I'm going to go Dallas -7. I'll just put the 7 out there. I wish I could get 6.5, but I only see it at 7 right now. So I'll take them minus a touchdown in this one to beat the Giants.
Well, then I'll go. I've kind of changed here in the last few hours. My third one, I'll take Houston +7. If I'm going to go all in with the Deshaun Watson as MVP with the Houston Texans win the AFC this year, I've got to take them +7. That's the biggest underdog they'll be this season. I mean, they're probably not going to be any more than 7 all season. At the Saints, I'm going to take Houston +7 as my number 3, and hope they can keep it close.
All right, and then my last one will be the last game we talked about, Oakland in a pick'em. I already told you why. I'm taking Oakland in a pick'em to win the game. That'll be my third one. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of contests, we won't talk about this each and every week because you can only sign up at the beginning of the season. But now is the time to sign up for all these contests. I think I listed out like 15 or 20 of them that I'm already signed up for that I'm going to be doing. I know you're hosting a few. Give us a little taste of what you got.
Yeah, so my Survivor one is obviously the big one. We're up to I think close to $2,000 in the pool. Basically, you enter. So real quick, you can find it on our page or on our newsletter. But go to Yahoo, go to NFL Survivor. You can use the groups 445, 313, or 537 with the password football, all lowercase, and you can get in 1 per person, 1 per entry. And obviously all the details are there, so the payment is all there. So then what happens then is we pay out at the end, and it could be one winner of $2,000. It could be, a split pot of two people. Basically, you have to win each week. You guys know how survivors work. If you don't, ask. And then I have a pick 'em as well. That's on our newsletter as well. So sign up for our free newsletter, and you can get all the information there. The survivor is the big one. Last year was around $2,500 to winner, and technically you can get in that until Sunday at noon. I would love if you could get in as soon as possible, so I'm not scrambling. But Sunday at noon is the deadline for that.
Nice. And then we're also hosting a free one. For those of you that like free, we're hosting a free Survivor at noobsports.com. Go to that's our play of the day. Go to survivor.noobsports. That's KNUPsports.com, survivor.noobsports.com. You can sign up all the way up until, I think, game time on Sunday, I believe. Is that how Survivor typically works? I think it's up until Sunday. So you have a few more days to sign up there. We're giving away a free jersey, and these jerseys are sweet. Jersey of the player of your choice to the winner of this. There's only, 20, 25 people in it right now, so you have a very good chance of winning this thing. So jump in there. Free entry. It's hosted over at Yahoo as well, so jump on there and do that. I mean, there's survivors all over the place. We're actually doing a couple super contest entries this year, but the MyBookie ones, I wish I could do the one out in Vegas, but I'm not messing with the whole proxies and all of that stuff. So not living in Vegas makes it a little harder. But man, there's survivors and pick'ems and super contests and all of the above out there. So it is a good time of the year to sign up for a lot of that. It's great. I absolutely love it. If you're looking for picks, I mean, we do a play of the day on Noob Sports every day. I mean, I think we still have been winning at a pretty decent rate there, Rodney. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our play of the day in August won 4 units, 60%, and then the last 2 months were over almost 9 units at 62 and 60%. And obviously, you can check all of on our spreadsheet. It's right there. We've got it all available for you. Obviously 60% is pretty good. If you can win at 60%, you're going to win money. So definitely have a football pick. Every time there's some football games, and if you look, football has actually been our moneymaker. Since we started this, the National Football League, we're up 40 units in the National Football League, 65% winner. So hopefully we can continue that through the 2019 season. Just don't look at our NHL. And
again, that's our play of the day, noobsports.com. We just have fun with it. It's free. We're not charging for anything out there. It's just a good time. I know there are a lot of charging handicappers and pick services. One of them that I have a relationship with, and I think I would recommend you guys checking out if you're looking to pay for picks, head out to spookyexpress.com. That's spookyexpress.com. Click on Platinum Picks. Earl over there is crushing it. He's been hitting at over 60%, and he gives out 3 to 7 picks every day in every sport, and he's been killing it. This guy knows he just kills it with MMA, kills it with golf. He's really excited for football. So got to give a little plug to Earl. If you're looking to pay for some premium picks this football season, I would definitely recommend heading out there. That was my shameless tout, not even for my own service, for Earl's service over there. So I would do that if I were you. And then, so it's going to be fun, man. What else? Last thoughts as we jump off here, Rodney?
Yeah, looking forward to some football this weekend. Obviously just – like they all say, just be smart with your bankroll. I know you love week 1, but keep in mind that your goal is to try to bet with that bankroll for 17 weeks, and don't wash it down week 1. If you lose a few games, you're going to find a way to win a few after that. So be smart and enjoy your NFL betting.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in here. We'll be back again. We have another one coming up soon. We'll be back every week for this. Hopefully, we'll be released Wednesday night or Thursday morning every single week. We'll try to get that to you. So please subscribe to us on iTunes. Listen to us out there. Give us some ratings out there as well. We'd love to build up some positive ratings out there if you like this. If not, just please don't give a rating. But if you like it, give us a rating. You can actually find us on iTunes at noobsports.com/show/iTunes. So that will get you out there to our iTunes page. You can subscribe, listen on your player, all the above. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Good luck with your football betting. Good luck with your DFS. Rodney, until next week, good luck with everything you're doing in football, and we will talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Noob Sports Show. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing to our iTunes channel today. Plus, visit us at noobsports.com for more picks, previews, strategy, and news. That's KNUPsports.com. DraftKings.com.